and welcome to this video. Today I'm going to give you a quick overview of this Google Sheets social media content planner. This is a new version. If you're looking for the previous version, you can find a link to that video in the description down below. And if you want to purchase either version, you can find a link to those in the description down below as well. So let's get into it. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to customize your template. So you're going to set the year. This template is going to have one sheet for each month. So you are going to set the year that you will be working with in the customize here sheet. Then you're going to select if you want your weeks to start on a Monday or on a Sunday. And then you're going to write down your platforms, your social media platforms, the formats that you use for your content, and your own personalized status labels. So in each monthly content planner, you're going to find a status summary section that's going to sort every single piece of content by its status. And the status order is going to be the same order in which you input your labels. So when you're customizing them, take that into consideration. It's important to note that every single label that you find across the entire template, for example this, is going to be pulled from this sheet right here. So whenever you want to change a label, you don't have to change it manually here and then on every single sheet. You can just come to this section, find the label that you want to change, and then set your translation right here. This section is going to manage the labels for the weekdays. It is important that you select if you want your weeks to start on a Monday or on a Sunday before you change your translations. And then once you are done, just come back and make sure that your translations match this column right here, because it's going to change depending on what you select. Now it's starting on a Monday, but this won't change if you manually edit it. So just make sure you select Sunday or Monday first, and then you change your translations for the weekdays. Now this handles the translations for the hashtag manager. This handles the translations for each of the 12 sheets that contain the monthly content plan. And then this handles the translation for help text. So if they are bothering you and you don't want them there, you can just select the translation and delete them. But I recommend that you read them first and then make sure you understand them before deleting them in case you don't want them. Or in case you do want them, you can just set your translations right there. Now, this section is going to control how many characters show up in your calendar. So if you go to a monthly content plan and you scroll over to this calendar section, I'm going to zoom in. You're going to find that your posts are going to show up here. So I'm going to talk about that later. But whatever you enter here, it's going to show up in its corresponding day. So it's going to show the post number, the platform, the format, and then whatever you write in the post idea cell. So whatever you write here is going to show up here. And you can control how many characters of that idea will show up. So right now I have 20 characters, but if I set a higher number, then the idea text will not be cut off. I'm gonna make that 20 again, and then as you can see, this post number 4 is cut off. It used to be store anniversary giveaway, and now it's cut off to 20 characters. So that's how you control how long the texts are gonna be in your calendar. If you move on to the yearly calendar, you're gonna see that it was updated automatically depending on whether you selected that your week start on Monday and Sunday, and depending on the year that you entered. So the calendars, you don't have to do anything with them. They are just a visual reference. And then each calendar gets a section on the right that allows you to make a list of important dates for that month. And if you double click on the first column of each table, a calendar will show up for you to select a valid date from. If you select an incorrect month, it's gonna highlight in red as an error. Now, whenever you see underlined text like this, that means that's a link, and it's gonna allow you to quickly jump between sections without having to scroll. If I click here, and then I click on this blue text, it's gonna jump into the monthly content plan for January. So you get one sheet for each month. The first thing you see is this calendar that is going to update automatically, and you should not edit that. Then you get these quick links that are going to allow you to jump between sections in this spreadsheet. And then you get this little box right here that's going to allow you to jump into a specific post. I'm going to show you how that works in a moment. And then you get a to-do list in which you can just write general tasks for the month. And then once you check them, the progress bar is going to move. So then you get this content plan section that goes all the way up to here. And what you're going to do is you're going to double click on the first cell and a calendar will appear for you to select a valid date. You need to be careful and make sure that whenever you add a date, it actually matches the corresponding month you're in. So if you're in the December sheet and then you add a date that does not correspond to December, it's going to highlight in red. So if you're sure that you added the correct month and it is still highlighting in red, just double click and make sure that you also selected the correct year. Then you set the time at which you want to post. Then you select a platform from the drop-down. These are the platforms that you customize at the beginning. Then you select a format, and then you select a hashtag group. So hashtag groups, you're going to find in the hashtag manager. So you start by making a list of every hashtag that you could ever possibly use, and then you set the hashtag size. The size is completely optional, and then you're going to start creating your groups. So you're going to name a group first in this cell, and then you're going to select a hashtag from the dropdown. This dropdown is built with whatever you enter here. So in order to use hashtags here in different groups, they must exist here in this main section. So you start selecting hashtags from the dropdown, and the sizes will be pulled automatically. And if you select a hashtag that's duplicated, then it will highlight in red. If you scroll down, you're going to find these 3 boxes right below each of your groups. And these are going to join your hashtags by the hashtag symbol, by commas, or by spaces. So you can just easily come here and copy and paste the one that you need. And then if you scroll down, you're going to find that your hashtags were sorted from the highest size to the lowest size. So if you need a visual reference of that, you can find that down here. And then you have space for notes. If you want to quickly find something, maybe if you want to quickly find all of the hashtags that start with the small text, you can just start typing that, and it's going to filter every single hashtag that begins with the word small. It won't filter anything in between. So if I type business, it's not going to take into consideration small business tips. It's just going to take into consideration hashtags that begin with the word business. So you select your hashtags and you build your group. So let's say this group is called my example. If I go back to my content planner, I can select that group, and then every single hashtag will be pulled automatically into this section. Then you select if you want your hashtags to be divided by the hashtag symbol, by commas, or by spaces. So I'm going to leave hashtags, and then you can track your status right here. So let's say it's pending. So you're going to write down your idea. Then you're going to write down your caption, a call to action. This can be a link. It can be text. It can be text and a link. You decide. Then this section is automated. As I mentioned, it's going to pull every single hashtag from the hashtag group that you select here, and it's going to separate it by the symbol that you select on this cell. And then if you scroll to the right, you're going to find this sort of checklist. So this is optional and you can use it however you like. If you want to change the label, you can just go back to the customize here sheet and find that label in this monthly content planner section. So it's right here. So let's say whatever you want. And then every single label for every single month is going to change to whatever you want. So if I come back here, you can use this as a checklist for that specific piece of content. You can also use it to keep a record of the different platforms in which you want to repost your content. This is completely optional and completely flexible to your needs. And then you're going to find this small cell that will allow you to add an image, a link to where you are keeping your images. So if you have them on a Canva design, you can just add the link to that Canva design. So maybe if you're working, if this piece of content is a carousel, or if you want several different stories, then instead of adding one single image here, because this cell will only fit one image, you can add a link to wherever you're keeping your series of images. You can also write down different image names if that's how you're managing them. If you want to add an image, what you do is you select the cell, then you click on Insert Image, and then you select Insert Image in Cell. And then you can just drag your file here or click on Browse and find that on your computer. And then this section is going to join your caption and your hashtags. So you can just copy that all together at once. So if you scroll down, you're going to find that you have room for 100 posts. So that around 3 posts per day. So then if you scroll to the right, you're going to find this calendar. You can also jump into that calendar by clicking on this quick links section. So this is completely automated and it's going to pull every single post that you added into its corresponding day. So whenever you give a post a date, it's going to automatically add it to the corresponding day in this calendar. So as you can see, we have this first post on January 13th, Thursday. So if you go to the calendar, Thursday, January 13th, you're gonna find that exact post. It's post number 1 for platform Instagram. The format is post, and then the idea is a day in the life. So if I change that to a different date, let's say January 1st, and then I move to the calendar, now I'm going to find that exact same post on January 1st. If we move on to January 12th, you're going to find that you have 2 posts on this cell, post number 3 and post number 4, January 12th. So we're going to find post number 3 on January 12th and post number 4 on January 12th. So if we add this first post to that same day, now you're going to find all 3 posts in this section. So what's cool about this is that you can start writing down, brain dumping all your ideas without actually giving them a date. You just brain dump every single one of your ideas for the month, and then you can just change your mind and change the date in which you want to post them without actually having to move it around. You can just change the date and you're gonna have a visual representation of your entire posting schedule on this calendar. Now, since you don't have to keep your posts in any particular order, I built a section that's going to allow you to see every piece of content day by day. So if you select a date in this calendar, you double click in this cell and you select a day in this calendar, it's going to automatically pull into this table every single piece of content that has that corresponding date assigned to it. So if I assign January 12th to post number 1, and I come back here, it's going to show up on this table as well. So this table is useful because once you're doing your actual posting, you can just set the date in the calendar and then automatically pull your captions, your call to action, your hashtags. So you can just take any of these cells, copy and paste them somewhere else. So I recommend you keep these cells small. I know that text is being cut off right here because in this particular section, it doesn't matter that you actually see the text. You already made sure it was okay here. So this is only useful for you to copy and paste. So you just select this and then let's open some notes. And then if you paste it, you get your caption and you get your hashtags. So if I go back and only copy my hashtags, you get your hashtags. If I copy my call to action, I get my call to action. So you don't need to actually see the whole thing. This is just useful to copy and paste. Let's say you saw that you were posting this office tour on January 12th and you want to change your mind. So you're gonna quickly jump into that post by clicking on this go label right here and then clicking on this blue text. So we're wanting to jump to post number 3. So you click there and you automatically jumped into post number 3. So let's change that into maybe January 13th. So if you go back to pick a date, you can do that by clicking on this quick link section in the pick a date cell. So if you click there, it's no longer showing up on January 12th. Then if I change the date, it's now showing on January 13th. Now, if you scroll to the right, you're going to find this section that is going to pull a specific post into this view. So you can enter the post number here, or you can select it from the drop-down. So once you enter the post number, it's going to automatically pull everything. The date, the time, platform format status, then your idea, caption, call to action, hashtags, caption, hashtags, whatever you entered in the image cell. And then again, you can just copy and paste here. So if you're working on this section, January 13, you selected that date, and you want to actually see the whole thing, instead of making these columns bigger, what you're going to do is you're going to move over here, you're going to set that specific post, and then you're going to be able to see the whole thing. So if you want to change anything, let's say we want to add a call to action. So if you want to change anything on that specific post, you can also click here on the go link, and then you're going to jump into post number 3. So I'm going to add the call to action, shop now. Then I'm going to go back to the pick a post section, and my call to action is now shop now. Both of these sections are useful and they work together hand in hand whenever you are doing the actual posting or the scheduling. And then you move to the very last part and you're going to find this status tables. So what this is going to do is it's going to take every single post that contains an idea text. So you remember you have this idea cell right here. So whenever you input an idea, it's going to be pulled into this table, and it's going to be sorted by the status label. So the sort order matches the order in which you entered your status labels. So if you want your done labels to show up first, you can just come here and change that. Right now it's red because it was duplicated. Now the done label is showing up first and then needs approval. So this is going to show every single piece of content that has an idea text in the idea cell. This last section is going to show you a status summary. So it's going to tell you how many posts are associated to that status. So I have 2 posts that are done, 2 posts need approval, 1's in progress, and 1 is pending, which matches this. So if I delete a status label, it's going to tell me how many posts are missing a status label. So right now just 1, and the ones that are missing a label are going to show up at the very top. Now, as you saw, you can jump between sections. So I can go to the status section. Then if I want to go back to the content plan, I just click here. Now, if you scroll down, you're going to lose those links. So if you're working all the way down here, you're going to lose those links. So in order to go back to the top quickly without having to continuously scroll, you're going to click on this link. This link is going to bring you back to the top. And then finally, you have this section that is going to help you jump into a specific post without having to scroll all the way down. So if I want to get to post 100, I can just write 100 and then click on the link, and it's going to jump all the way to 100. So if I want to go back to the top, I click here. And if I want to maybe pick a post, I go here, I pick the post 100, and it's going to show up empty because I haven't added anything there. Now this is pretty much it, and you get one sheet like this one for each month. In one single file, you're going to be able to have your content for the entire year, provided that 100 posts per month is okay with you. So that's it for the video. If you have any questions, feel free to message me on Etsy. You can find the link to purchase this template on the description down below. And thank you for watching.